Right, in this lesson you will learn how to empty a catheter bag. Catheter bags must be emptied, but when? You are not allowed to let the catheter bag get more than 3/4 full. So if it is, for example, 2000 milliliter, 3/4 will be 1500 milliliter. It cannot go over that reading. You should take it when it's 3/4 full, or at least at the end of your shift, whichever reading comes first. You should also remember that catheters are indwelling when people are in a bed and bedridden and they have decided to place an indwelling catheter in the person. A catheter tubing may stay in for up to a month, but the bag needs to be replaced every 7 days. You will be taught how to do the changing on the bag if necessary. It's not always going to be your job, but you should be able to empty the catheter bag. I'm now going to teach you how to do so. The supplies that you need will be a barrier, gloves, a graduate container, and your documentation sheet. So let's go. I've entered the patient's room and I introduce myself. Good day, Mrs. Smith. My name is Karen. I'm going to be your CNA. Are you okay today? She says she's fine. Mrs. Smith, I'm going to empty the catheter bag. Is that okay with you? Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. I'm going to close the curtain, wash my hands, and get my supplies. You then will get your supplies that you need and unpack them. What you have to do next is remember that you are only going to work with a catheter bag and not the client. So what you first do is take your barrier, place it on the floor with the absorbent side so that you can work underneath the bag. Right. The next thing that you have to do is remember that you are going to use a graduate container to measure the mils or cc. Mil and cc is the same measurement, which will go into the graduate container from the bag. You then have to place gloves on your hands. After we've placed the gloves on our hands, what we need to do is we need to start what we have to do. You take your graduate container and you place it under the catheter bag. You then have to be very careful. When you remove the port and the valve, do not touch it on any surface. It is really important that you remember that, because you may pick up pathogens. When you do, you'll place it back and then the client will get a UTI, a urinary tract infection. Bacteria is everywhere, and therefore you should not touch the surface of this port anywhere. So what you do is you remove the port from the housing, then you place it over your graduate container and you remove the valve and place it over to the other side. It is now running into the graduate container. When it has been emptied, you shake it gently and then replace the valve to the other side. Take your port, be careful. Don't touch any surface except the housing itself and place it inside. We are not allowed to clean the bag with alcohol. Therefore, if you touch any surface, you have to be honest and put it into your report. You have now got your urine in the graduate container. What you should do is close it up. You never walk with any urine or feces exposing itself to the air, and you place it down on a flat surface which is level. You open it up and now you want to take a reading. When you do your reading, you have to be eye level. Don't be higher than the graduate container. Bring your eyes down and take your reading. Take the nearest level to the urine. Then when you have taken a mental note of this, you have to then empty the container. I'm now emptying the urine into the toilet away from myself. I'm now going to open the tap with a towelette. Empty this rinsing it, emptying it into the toilet away from yourself. Once it's clean, you throw the towelette from the tap into the bin provided. You then take another towelette. You want to hold on to the graduate container and then dry it on the inside. After that, you throw the towelette away. Then you want to take a towelette and dry it on the outside. Throw that towelette away. You then want to take a towelette and you want to walk back to the drawer where you will be packing those. Right, so the last part is rolling the barrier away from yourself. Take it and place it in the bin provided. You have now cleaned up everything except going back to the client. You remove your gloves and you put them in the bin provided for gloves. Now you will go and wash your hands and then return to the patient. Mrs. Smith, is there anything else that you would like? She says, no, thank you. A magazine? No, thank you. Your call light, where will it go? On the side by my bedside table. Thank you. You place the call light down and then you are going to open the curtains, wash your hands, go through the steps of your skill. So you open the curtain, wash your hands, and that concludes this lesson. Right, so when you have completed doing your task for emptying the catheter bag, you have to record everything. It is not intake, it is output, and it is urine, the time that you did it, the type is urine, the amount in mil or cc that you've recorded, the name of your patient, the room number, the date, the time, and then your name and your signature. You will also find this document in your theory lesson. Thank you.